Australië is onvoorstelbaar groot. Het is veel groter dan Europa. Maar er wonen op dat enorme oppervlakte ongeveer evenveel mensen als in Nederland. De meeste mensen, zo'n 6 miljoen, die wonen tussen Sydney en Melbourne. En de rest van de bevolking is verspreid over een paar steden en verder over dat enorme continent. Soms woont er slechts 1 persoon op een gebied zo groot als heel Nederland. Het is dus niet goed mogelijk om daar overal op iedere hoek van de straat, want er is nog ineens een straat, een huisarts neer te zetten. Daar hebben ze iets op gevonden en dat heet in Australië het Royal Flying Doctor Corps. Dat is een dokter en die kun je raadplegen via de telefoon en meestal moet je dat zelfs doen via de radio. En het gaat op de volgende manier. Stel dat je niet lekker voelt en je woont eenzaam ergens, dan zeg je, bel je op en dan zeg je, ik heb pijn aan B. Zeg je, dokter, hoe voelt dat? Als u drukt, heeft een erge pijn. Ja, dan doet het nog meer pijn. Nou, dan moet je naar je Flying Doctor geneesmiddelkist stappen. En dan zegt die dokter, pakt u het pilletje 129 eruit. Gebruikt u dat 2 keer en als het dan niet helpt, dan moet u terugbellen. Of de radio weer opnieuw pakken. Nou, het helpt niet en je belt de dokter weer op. Je zegt, nou, ik heb nou niet alleen een pijn aan B, maar het heeft zichzelf uitgestrekt op A. Ik heb nu helemaal hier pijn. Dus die dokter, jee, dat is erg gevaarlijk. Probeert u nu 137 en als het niet helpt, dan moet u onmiddellijk terugbellen. Nou, het helpt niet en dan bel je terug en dan komt in het, als het echt erg blijkt te zijn, de dokter met een vliegtuig. Dat gebeurt heel vaak, want er zijn zo'n 100.000 oproepen per jaar en zo'n 12.000 noodgevallen. Het is dus echt niet iets wat maar een paar keer per jaar gebruikt wordt. Oplettende kijkers die zullen zien dat ik hier zit in de set van Cooper's Crossing, zoals iedereen die kent uit de televisieserie Flying Doctors. Nou, dit is het hotel en de bar. En als we dan een stukje doorlopen, dan kunnen we hier zien dat de omgeving van... Hallo, sir. Hi. De omgeving van Cooper's Crossing te zien is. De tv-serie Flying Doctors is dus het echte leven in Australië en dat geldt ook voor Neighbours. Een paar dagen keken we mee achter de schermen van Flying Doctors en Neighbours en kregen zo enig inzicht in hoe de werkelijkheid in Australië verfilmd wordt.
Oh, well, I mean, they're underexposed a touch, but we'll fix that up there, won't we?
Yeah, no,
Because we pull an iris here. Oh, the boys, yeah, they're okay, no problem. Yeah.
3-3.
170. Gags. That's clear. Some little line. Anything that's going to give us a top.
G'day. How's it feel to be a godfather?
G'day, Doc.
Steve?
Oh.
I'll take that.
Now I know why I got married.
Just wanted someone to fetch and carry, huh?
Yeah, that's right. How far did you get? So that's why.
That obvious, huh?
Well, let's face it, it's not often you come down here to pick me up.
Jacko's got Hansen's disease.
Hansen's disease? Well, how's he taking it?
He's putting up a good front.
That came right in the middle of your...
Just trust me.
Yeah.
I came around. I wasn't going to come over there. I wanted to go around this piece here because we'll get tripped up on that.
Stay in there somewhere.
Let's try it again. That obvious, huh?
Well, let's face it, it's not often you come down here to pick me up.
Jacko's got Hansen's disease.
Hansen's disease? Well, how's he taking it?
He's putting up a good front.
Okay. Gag. The 4K right in the background is in shot with the ballast as well. So, can you track it back a bit and take the trace off it?
Your real first name is Lenore, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Lenore.
Lenore?
Lenore, yeah.
But we know you in Holland as Kate, and I think you're the most popular in the series.
Oh, thank you.
You're very popular.
Thank you.
And how does that feel? What's the feeling about it?
Oh, well, it feels good to be popular, yeah. I love doing the show. I've been doing it for 3 years now.
From the beginning?
Yeah, I'm one of the original, well, one of the few original left.
But there is then perhaps a big fear. You always stay a nurse.
Oh,
Yeah?
possibly.
You know the problem.
Possibly, typecasting,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
No, I've never had a fear about that. I played a nurse once before in a play for 6 months, so maybe this is it all coming back to me now. No, I'm not worried about that.
But I've noticed something new. You're married now.
Oh, in the show?
In the show?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And in real life, yes.
In real life too. But now about the show.
Oh, in the show, yeah. That's
Yeah.
a long time in waiting we were for that. Because this has been a really slow thing that's been happening over the last, well, since Robert's been in the show, which is 2 years. I don't know what happens now. What happens after you get married? Not much.
I'm 40 and unmarried.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's tragic. It's tragic. But I've heard there are 50 episodes coming more, at least.
Yeah,
Yeah, at
it's
least.
a hell of a lot, yeah.
And you stay in it? 50 more now?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
And if I say 100 more?
100 more.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. My husband would like me to stay in it, I think. Yeah, he likes me to be working, I think.
But it's working the whole week, 5 days a week.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
very long, and in particular hard for me. And
Why in particular hard?
Oh, because I travel back every weekend to Sydney.
Oh, you live in Sydney?
Yeah.
And
so-
that's 800 kilometers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
an hour's flight, plus all the travelling to the airport and all the travel back from the airport. So it's a big week for me. Yeah.
But it's boring, that waiting the whole day.
I read a lot.
I've seen you now 2 days, and it's waiting and
Oh,
waiting and
it's
waiting.
a lot of waiting, isn't it?
And so you have to wait for 3 years more now. For 2 years. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Man, a few words. Fractured fib and tib. We'll get him into X-ray when we land. If necessary, we can get him sent to Broken Hill, let the orthopods loose on him.
How dare you? How dare you go to your brother and warn him off me? Do you think you own me?
I take it Barry came
And apologised and said it wasn't that he was going to be unfriendly. He just didn't want to upset his little brother. Oh, you think it's funny, do you? Going around talking about me as if I was a horse or a dog you owned.
Kate, I did what I thought
I'll
was
go
best.
out with whoever I like.
Your prerogative.
Those kids wouldn't have even known we were there. Having a great time, though, weren't they?
Yeah, I'll say.
Marvellous.
About our conversation earlier, the one in which a certain party warned you off me, I was wondering if you'd like to take me out this evening. They do a very good dinner at the bistro.
I think Vic can spare me, yeah.
Good. See you then.
You could do a lot worse. A lot worse.
Who makes the story? Who's the first who tells you that's a story?
Well,
We have a meeting for every episode, and we all sit down. The writer comes in with a couple of ideas. We get a lot of ideas from the Crawfords Research Department, because we have a very big research department. And the story editor may have an idea, the producer may have an idea. We sit down and we start talking, and we say we would like this episode to be about Chris, particularly, or, you know, someone needs to be featured in this one. There's a very good story about a child who fell down a mine shaft. Yes, that sounds good. And then we start talking, and we make the story, each one, for each episode.
But take Kate. She had to be the same character in all the episodes.
Yes.
Yes.
How do you know what is the character of Kate 20 episodes ago?
Yeah, that has to rely a fair bit on the actress too. When you're doing a series like this, it's different. With a serial, you are plotting for the major characters in the show and how they change their personalities and their experiences and so on. With a series, our characters are moulded, I mean, originally by the writers, I suppose, but the actor has a great deal to do with it too. Their personality comes through enormously, and then the writers write for that personality, and then they take something more and add to it, and that's how the character grows.
And is there a historical or a real background in stories? Where comes the story from? I mean, there is a real Flying Doctor Corps in Australia.
Yeah, and they help us a great deal. With information, with the stories, and they also they see the scripts to make sure that's suitable.
It's all accurate.
And but you mean, well, the stories can come from any source at all. Like some things happen in Australia that can happen nowhere else in the world because of the vast distances. It might happen in Africa, might happen in Alaska, or in Australia, but it's not going to happen in Holland, and it's not going to happen in Germany because it is so very populated.
Something moving in there. Sure staying put.
We'll have to put parking meters around here soon.
Help him. Please help him.
It is very difficult for us as the rain does cause us a lot of problems.
And if the rain stays the whole afternoon?
We can't do anything. Oh, actually we can. We've got another plane arriving to do some close-ups inside the aircraft, and we've got some blue flats over the back here that we'll set up behind the aircraft.
Oh, that's the air, the blue one?
Oh, yeah, and we'll do some close-ups just in the aircraft with blue flats, yeah.
That's only for 2 seconds
Maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds of dialogue. But it's a lot of money, as you know, everybody's standing around.
Yesterday you were losing a few hours?
Yes, we lost about 3 hours.
And today perhaps again?
Perhaps, yeah, maybe 2 or 3 hours today we'll lose.
And what to do then?
Well, we'll have to pick it up somewhere along the line.
But where?
We'll just work harder. No, truly, we will. What they'll do is they'll either rewrite the scenes to do them inside.
Oh, you rewrite the scenes then?
And they possibly will, yes. Or
if the weather is bad, you rewrite the scenes?
Only sometimes, though. It can't always be done. Specifically in this episode we're doing, a lot of it's outside anyway, so it's really, really difficult.
there.
They shouldn't be flying.
Nomad ready?
Yeah, jump in.
Be damn near empty. He's suicide to fly with those hands. Maybe that's what he wants.
Oh, that's boring, Obi, isn't it? Pretend it's locked.
Ja, wat vind je ervan? Zover? Nou, het is niet een beroep wat ik graag zou willen hebben. Ze nemen allemaal hele korte stukjes op. En dat is op televisie misschien 10, 20 seconden. Maar daar doen ze een uur over. En ze hebben verder de handicap hier dat het is een luchthaven, het is een schietbaan en het regent voortdurend. Dus je moet steeds stoppen en weer wachten. Het is wachten, het is een leven van wachten. Dat weet ik natuurlijk wel een beetje. Om me nou echt zo'n paar dagen te volgen. Nou. En ze blijven er allemaal heel blij onder. Ik vind het zijn leuke, coöperatieve mensen. Is there a historical background on that?
It actually happens.
Yes, it actually happens.
A lot of yes. A lot of our stories are based on news items that have actually happened.
And as a writer, how far can you go in things of sex?
That's dictated.
And
by
what are the dictations?
Oh, well, we can take our feet off the ground, can't we? We can actually get
possible.
into bed.
Yeah, the ground's possible.
Well, you know, the old Hollywood thing was you had to have one foot on the ground. Didn't matter what you did on the bed as long as one foot stayed firmly on the ground.
And that's the same here now?
No, it's not. We can take our feet off the ground and put them on the bed, but we can't go all that much further.
No, we can't go that much
I
further.
don't know.
In Australia, it has a 7:30 time slot. So the audience is pretty wide, you know, small children right up to...
That's not adults only, but general public.
That's
everyone.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You know what I mean.
Make me sound like a piece of prime real estate.
Trespassers prosecuted?
Flying lessons?
That's blackmail.
You're dead right. And trespassers will be shot. No flying lessons, no nothing.
Come off it.
I mean it.
Don't.
Try me.
How long do you think you'll last?
Not longer than you, Romeo.
Emma. Emma!
We have to be very careful when we're showing violent scenes that they're not too violent, and that we suggest if the violence is necessary, we suggest it rather than show it specifically.
And is there a difference between writing for only an Australian audience and you writing now for 14 countries in the world?
Yes.
Makes it a different view in writing?
No.
Make it some more international.
Oh, no, I think that'd be a mistake.
Yeah, I think it would.
That'd be like making Coronation Street international, or it'd be like making... No, that'd be a mistake. Because you don't, you know, as a Dutch viewer, you wouldn't tune in into Flying Doctors to watch little bits of Holland.
Yes, just as much as an
want to
actor
see
wouldn't
Australia.
change their acting because it's an international audience. You don't suddenly give a different performance. You give a performance for that one person who's on the other side of the camera. So a writer writes for that one person who's on the other side of the camera, not for 3 million or 5 million or 10 million.
If I make a characteristic on Neighbours, it's a lot of calling, telephoning. If I make a characteristic on your show, I think it's drinking. You see a lot of drinking, a lot
Really?
of beer. Yes.
Now that is something that that's filtered through to us from European audiences particularly, because your life is not centred around pubs. The English don't mind that,
No.
because the English go to pubs.
But for a
and
Dutch, it's only beer.
Yes. Yeah, we're aware of that. And actually, now that you come to think of it, that is something that has been said to the script department, that they don't like pub scenes a lot in Europe. So don't worry if you have to cut a
So
pub
perhaps
scene.
you change it a little bit for
Could
a
possibly.
European audience.
Yeah,
So we have an example now.
There is,
We have an-
yes,
I
there
wasn't
is an
aware-
international. I haven't
wasn't
sort
aware
of
of it.
thought of it, but yes, in those kinds of...
Neighbors, everybody needs good neighbors with a little understanding. can find the perfect blend. Neighbors should be there for one another. That's when good neighbors become good friends.
In 1985 had Channel 10 van de Australische televisie had 20 minuten over iedere dag. En toen verzonnen ze, daar maken we een hele goedkope serie. En die serie heette Neighbors. Een aantal jaren later is die serie een reusachtig succes, bijna over heel de wereld. Ik sta hier in Vermont South en dat is een buitenwijk van Melbourne. Daar worden de buitenopnamen gemaakt van de straat die je ook in Nederland kunt zien. En wat opvalt is hoe snel die serie gemaakt wordt. Er worden er 5 in de week gemaakt met steeds nieuwe acteurs. En een heleboel acteurs die hier al beroemd zijn, staan in Nederland nog aan het begin van hun beroemde carrière. Mate, if the competition's all like her, you've got it won.
All right, I admit defeat, but let's see who comes out top in the maths test today.
I'd have to mention the maths.
Come on, I'll race you to school.
All right.
Pasky and Jessica and Mark.
Yeah.
Right, a little bit more enthused about the skateboard. It was all a bit, oh, gee, that's a nice skateboard. Oh, that's 3 spot worth, man. Hey, baby.
Hey, look at that set of wheels.
Yeah,
mate, it's a fancy board.
What do you reckon?
Ah, so look,
Every hot feature you can get.
excellent.
Yeah, must have cost you a packet.
Yep, T-shirt money.
What?
Nick, silk screen.
You're one of the directors.
That's correct, yes.
And you are a director for the outside scenes?
No, we have 4 directors, and we're each on a 4-week turnaround.
Yeah.
We do 1 week pre-production, reading scripts, looking for locations, analysing the scripts. 1 week exterior.
What's analysing the script?
Oh, well, breaking it down, you know, reading it, looking for locations.
And could you explain to me how it's possible that it's such a big success in the whole world? You know, Dallas and Dynasty were very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And you make such a low-budget series, and that's a big success.
I think because it implies that we're all happy and content, and we're all normal. We're all normal, more normal than normal.
I do remember one old lady, hoe heet ze ook weer, David? De oude mevrouw, de tante. Miss Mangle, she was normal.
Yeah, but she was the protagonist, what we call the protagonist. I don't know the Dutch word for
Protagonist.
Right. She was the actual, and every show needs a protagonist, so you can have some conflict, so you can have some
And
interest.
that's now her sister. Mrs. Mangle's sister is now the protagonist. Or is it a new protagonist?
New protagonist now.
And
yeah,
who's that?
it's, well, I don't know where you are in Holland. I don't know what you're up to. But
we have Mrs. Mangle in it.
You still have Mrs. Mangle. Yeah. Well, when Mrs. Mangle leaves, for a while the protagonist is Aunt Edie.
That's her
then
sister.
Aunt Edie goes.
Oh,
and
she goes.
Is Aunt Edie Mrs. Mangle's sister?
No, she is the sister. What she is then? Her brother. What she is?
No, I think she's the aunt of the 2 girls who live in the house. I don't think she's Mrs. Mangle's sister.
And after that lady, there's a new protagonist.
Aunt Hillary.
Aunt Hillary.
Mm.
And there's an aunt. There's an aunt.
Yeah, she's related to the Robinsons. She's
It's so confusing.
Yes, they're all related. They're all related. It's sort of like a bit like incest, but it's just so they can all.
You say it.
What's the man's name who owns Channel 10? I think I just lost my job.
Okay, cameras please, gentlemen.
Mark, you should follow up and watch what's happening. Just from the exit to the bedroom, please.
We're going straight to your room to do some real
And action.
Don't be fooled by external appearances, Matthew. Just stay well away from Sharon. She is a chocolate-covered bomb.
Yuri, we're home. What you want is no problem. Here, Sharon.
I just back them up.
So, tell me, Sharon, have you had a...
Holiday, please.
So, tell me, Sharon, have you had a productive last few days?
Sure have. I've been studying like a demon. I finished 2 assignments.
Have you really?
I hardly went out. I didn't see anyone. I just worked away.
And tell me, what was the subject of these assignments?
Oh, just stuff, you know, Shakespeare, stuff like that.
Oh, nothing about barbecues?
Could we discuss this in private?
No, we could not. I think Matthew has a right to know the sort of people he's living with. So, you had a party.
Er wordt ontzettend hard gewerkt bij Neighbours. Ze nemen tegelijkertijd in de studio en buitenop. Want ze maken 5 afleveringen per week. Dat is 2,5 uur tv per week. Het grote idool van de serie is, ik moet eigenlijk zeggen, was in Australië toen ik er was, Jason Donovan. Hij was hier bezig aan een van zijn laatste afleveringen, want hij begon een carrière als popzanger. En die is inmiddels geslaagd.
We're going down.
We're going down.
Dirty boulevard.
I'm going out and I'm going home. Yeah.
So am I. I rang Poppy this morning after you left.
And?
I told her I wouldn't be seeing her again. Just feel lousy because I think it's my fault that she's in trouble with her family. But that's it. It's over.
Scott, it was for your own good. For the good of your marriage. It's the best way, believe me.
I still feel bad.
Last night you talked about leaving. I said I can't let you go. It's not just emotional feeling. I need your body and soul. You give me one good reason to leave me. I'll give you 10 good reasons to stay. You're the only one I believe in. I'll be hurt if you walk away. Too many broken hearts in the world. There's too many dreams can be broken into.
Jason, as an actor you are very popular in Holland, but as a singer you are more popular now. It's April now, and you're in the hit parade.
Yeah. I just finished recording an album, which is due released in Holland or will be released.
Yeah.
And basically that's 11 songs. One song on the track is Especially For You, which I believe got to top 10 in Holland.
That song is
with
Kylie.
That's
Yes.
a duet with Kylie.
But Neighbours is now in episode 970, I
that's
think,
correct.
and you are
Yeah.
leaving Neighbours now.
Yeah, I'm leaving in a week's time,
But why?
unfortunately.
But why?
It's time to move on. It's time to come over to your country and explore sort of places like that. I think the thing is with Neighbours, I've been doing it for 3.5 years since I left school. I mean, I'm only sort of 20 at the moment. And basically, it's time to move on. It's nothing...
It's not a problem of money. You
No,
said, I'm now
no,
so
no,
famous,
no.
I want to have more
No,
money.
no, not at all.
You're going out serious now? An accident, a car accident, or what happened with you in the series?
I shouldn't give too many things away.
Oh, but it's only in
Shouldn't
5
give too
years.
many things away.
It's in 5 years in Holland.
Yeah, I
This
know,
episode.
I know. No, I just leave. There's not a big hoo-ha about what happens, and it's a very simple exit. I just walk out the back door, as they say.
that's all.
And that's it. Go up to Brisbane to see my wife, and never to be seen again, probably. So.
I wish you good luck with your singing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Made it myself.
Oh, Tess, it's lovely. Isn't it, Harold?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, very handsome. Thank you, Des.
Oh, no worries. How's Trix?
Fine, fine. Bronwyn's in the kitchen there. I must say she's very conscientious, which is a nice change. Mind you, not that we've been that busy today.
Oh, I think I know the reason for that. We've got some competition.
Really? But I haven't heard of any new place opening.
It's in Ramsey Street. Sharon wasn't too happy when you gave her the boot. So she, set up shop in the backyard of number 30. Chez Shaz, she calls it. When I got there was kids sprawled all over the place. Personally, I don't think they know what they're in for.
I'm certain they don't. And if that little upstart thinks that she can get away with something like this, then she has got another think coming. Chez Shaz, eh? Let's see about that.
Het krijgt steeds moeilijker. Ik weet niet of iemand nog in Nederland begrijpt waar we zijn in die serie. Er zitten 800 afleveringen verschil tussen ongeveer. Ik ga me nu zelfs afvragen of Harold al in Nederland zit. Weet je dat, David? Ik denk dat Harold nog ineens Nederland... Nou, de eigenaar van de snackbar, die komt dus eraan in Nederland, moet je maar bedenken. Ik weet het niet.
Not there. Not there? Yes, yes.
You're a vegetarian in the series.
In the series.
You're not real
No,
vegetarian.
no, I was. I was for 7 years.
You was?
Yes. The day I got this part, I ceased to be a vegetarian.
What the most interesting about you, you're also a writer.
Yes.
Is that who, are you writing nowadays or only acting now?
I'm about to start again. I write for Neighbours.
You write for Neighbours?
Yes, yes, and I haven't done so for a while, but I'm about to start again.
Had you ever thought that the series would be so very popular in Europe? They are very popular in Australia, but you are rating out now Dallas and Dynasty in
Yes. I don't think we expected it to be as popular in Australia, let alone in Europe.
Right.
We always hope that a show will be a success, but the heights that this show has reached is unbelievable.
Have you any explanation for that?
No, I can only guess that it's... I've seen a few shows from the BBC where they talk to the English audience, and the English audience love blue skies, bright clothes, sunny streets, swimming pools in backyards, and they like their problems to be solved within an episode. And maybe that's the answer, I don't know.
Do you think that Neighbours is a real imagine of the Australian daily life?
Oh, yes, I think so. Yes, I think so. Maybe they're not as... maybe they're not as close as we portray the neighbour one-on-one situation, but on the outer suburbs, it is a lot. We are portraying the outer suburbs of the Australian city. And yes, I think it is. I think it's reasonably true.
There are two series running now in Holland, Neighbours and this series.
Yeah.
And you're both in it. It's very disturbing for us now.
Oh, am I still in over there?
Yeah.
I didn't think I was because I've left the series Neighbours in England. I left it nearly 3 years ago now.
Yeah, but we're in the first year.
Are you in the first?
Yeah, the first year.
God, that's a long time ago.
So you can explain me the difference between making and acting in Neighbours and Flying Doctors.
Well, it's a big difference. Neighbours is a series that's, well, a soap, sorry, that is shot and shown 5 nights a week, and is, you know, you're looking at 2.5 hours of television a week.
But for exposing yourself, it's better to stay in Neighbours. 2.5 hours a week.
Well, I think that's one of the risks of working in a show like that, is that you get overexposed. 2.5 hours a week, you know, 5 nights a week, you're in everyone's home. No, it's, well, that's the difference. You have, as I said, this is an hour a week, and you're on screen for a shorter amount of time. It's more intense, this work, because, you know, you only shoot 6 minutes a day. On Neighbours, you shoot 18 a day.
And it's also more acting as an actor.
Yeah, well, it's a different sort of show. It has you know, if anyone's ever worked on film or video, you have 3 cameras, you know, and you only have to do the scenes once and they cover it 3 different angles. This thing, you've got 1 camera and you have to cover it, you know.
Okay.
Comes out.
Let's sing hymn number 10.
So everyone opens their hymn books and not yet. And now we stand up.
Can I just get you to take your jacket off when you go into the church, because it's meant to be a summer scene, if that's okay?
Oh, summer scene, yes. Give my money. To sit in the church?
Yes.
I'm an actor now in it? Yeah? And do I have a line?
No.
No.
Sorry.
One
But you can
word.
practice your longing looks.
I can say amen.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. It'll be really appropriate, I'm sure.
Ik wacht er ineens. Nu al?
Is that okay, next to Robin?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
On the streets, if you're walking on the streets in your free time, people are asking you, you are the doctor. They recognize you.
Yeah, yeah, some people go by and they don't bother me much at all, but some of them just, hi, Doc.
Yeah?
Yeah, something like that.
And medical advisors, are they asking you medical advisors?
What, on the show? Medical advice?
On the streets.
No, I don't get much of that. Every now and then someone teases me with something like, oh, I've got a bad back or something like that. But once on the show here, somebody in the crew had something wrong with them. I'm not too sure what, I think it was this one. They had an earache. And they actually asked what to do. And I just told them to do what I suggest with my little boys. And I think I got him to put some garlic in his ear, and it actually worked.
Garlic?
Yeah, you cut the garlic in half and you slam it in your ear and you just keep it in there because it fits in the pocket.
It smells heaven.
Oh, it smells a bit, but it's a natural antiseptic, you know. So it works. He said it worked at least.
Listening. The scene runs for quite a while. Okay, I want real signs, okay? So it goes for quite a while. Listening to Father Jacko up here, so...
Okay, you can start now.
18, take 1. Mark. And... Frank.
And action.
And looking at all you today, that's how you make me feel. But enough of this chatting on the boss's time. Let's sing his praises. Hymn number 10.
wordt.
Ja? Dat eigenlijk voor een studioprogramma?
Ik ga er steeds meer in geloven in het studioprogramma. Dank je, Louis. Oké. Ik ga steeds meer in het studioprogramma. Is toch niks voor mij? Ik word hier zo... Dit is voor de reclameregeling.